Got a 2022 Can-Am Defender 6x6 HD 10 review. The goods, the bads, the horse piece, half dozen, whatever that saying is. Coming up. Gonna give it a bath first. She muddy from last weekend. Well, no one claimed for me to be the smartest man to do a review on my Can-Am 6x6 today. What is it, 23 degrees? Got to get acclimated to the weather somehow. So, I'd like to show some of the pros and cons of the machine. Biggest con I found, and then talking to other people, doing some research, is in the transmission. Can-Am's reverse chain is trash. Yeah, you can see in the video clip, broke it. Yeah, these are bigger than factory tires. They're ITP Mayhem's 32 inch. The machine handles them quite well, except in reverse, clearly. Couple other shortcomings. I cannot stand that front Visco lock. Broke one CV shaft because I was turtled and the front wheel was spinning. The other one wasn't, or vice versa, whatever. And then it decided to take off and snap the CV shaft. So Polaris has got a better front end, I think, how their locker setup is than this Can-Am. Boot tour here, I got another Rhino 2.0 to put in it. Yeah, I don't have the little cover thing in there right now. But this thing, I had a 2017 Polaris Ranger 1000. This thing definitely cools a lot better than that did. That, if you look at it wrong, it would overheat. Put on the factory Can-Am doors, half doors. I like them for the price. They're the same as aftermarket, but they're plastic, the covering. So they got give if you're driving through the woods versus having aluminum. Yeah, they don't give, they just bend. A lot of light switches or spots. Ooh, the seat's a little stiff. Must have some moisture in it. And now it's frozen. A lot of spots for switches, which is cool, which was nice. What is dumb though, from factory, has a rear diff lock switch in it. Yeah, that does absolutely nothing. I mean, it doesn't. The wiring is there, they just put it in there, but it doesn't do anything. So when I get some turn signals put on this, I'll do some moving around or something. But I do have one more spot open for a switch, which is cool. Got the headlight switch, which that actually is kind of broke. Some dirt got behind it, broke it. That ain't the machine's fault. Winch, big light bar on the bumper, rear light, side lights, stereo, just for the time being. What is this, like a 26 inch or something? Boss bar in it, which is not overly loud, but it's good enough for the time being. In the future, that'll get put on my Argo. Whip switch, lighted whip switch, which I don't have wired completely. It is all plumbed up or wired up underneath the dash, and then ends somewhere in here on factory wiring. That is the cool thing from Can-Am. They did have some wiring from the dash down to in here already for additional stuff, which was cool. Including some of the pre-wiring done for the winch. So the winch, I put the winch on. I put all the accessories on myself. Went on pretty easy. Huh. Forgot to get in there with the pressure washer. Oops. Oh well. But the crappy part is if you have to run any sort of wires from up in here, like when I wired these on, it is a pain to get these through the dash. The Polaris does have a better setup on that. They have like a round grommet thing that you can put wires through. A lot nicer setup on that. But Polaris never made a sweet 6x6. They made a 6x6, but nowhere near the same simplicity, and I don't know, it's just a better setup that Can-Am has than Polaris ever had. Made sure to put these on right away because I destroyed the plastics on my Ranger when I had that. Let me lift the box up. It's a little heavy when I got the bus seats in back. Then my homemade headache rack, or I'm not sure what you want to call that. And grab handles if you want to use the step. But how they put this on is very simple. It's basically bolted on half. When I mean bolted, it's bolted and riveted on. Like there's the receiver hitch is still there. A-arms are identical, rear to center axle. They only have one sway arm. I think that's what it's called, not two. I don't know what to think about. It only has brakes. Oh god, that's nice and dirty yet. On the center axle, not the rear axle, but it is what it is. Yeah, a lot of open room in here. Haven't done it yet, but I'm going to be installing some ammo cans for storage for some different things. It'd be nice to have it because that's a wide open area. Another thing I wish Can-Am would do is add some extra drain holes on these plastics. I washed and washed, and you can still see it's plump full of dirt. So when that's clean, I got to get in there with the hole saw. I put on the factory Can-Am Snorkel kit. That went on real nice and easy. The aftermarket kit I put on by a well-known brand on my Ranger. And that had a flat filter, not a round filter, which this is a better setup, in my opinion, for waterproofing. Yeah, I had dirt on the backside of the air filter, so that wasn't good. Oops. Then, I can't remember the brand, but I ordered a kit from Amazon, 2-inch spacer kit, to lift it. Bracket, excuse me. Lift kit. Yeah, it claimed it would fit a 2022. Absolutely not. It was a whole square thing. Yeah, that ended up getting really chopped and welded in place. Made it work, but not the way it claimed. For some reason, though, when I tried doing the same in the back, I could not get this rear axles to drop enough. I'm wondering if it's the CV shaft. So when I start buying new CV shafts to the rear, I'm going to do the rear axle first so I can try to lift it. So right now it's got a slight California lift to it. I mean a slight one, not by much, but a slight one. Speaking of the lift, up front, it claimed it would do 2-inch lift. Well, when I put it on, bolted it on, it only did 1 inch. This space was touching here, so this bolt was over farther, like here-ish, and it would only give it 1 inch of lift, not 2 inches. So I chopped this side, turned it, and welded it in place to get it to work. Gotta take the headlights apart, clean them, and seal them good. Bumper's a nice strong bumper. That's a good thing. But it handles, with the 1000 in here, which is currently the only motor option, it handles the, what do we have, 11, 12 people, something like that in this. It handles it great. Absolutely great. Yeah, the box is a little bit messy, but you get the idea. I do need to do some sort of better back step receiver hitch. The one that I have hodgepodge together isn't very good. This isn't all that strong. Don't hook up a chain to it if you get too stuck. You just break it. Yeah, I broke it. Oops. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. You know, the shortcomings, the advantages. I've yet to take the sideboards off to see how it looks as a flatbed. But in the pictures, they did look pretty darn good. Pretty cool. Oh yeah, that's something. Super ATV windshield. I like it's this style that folds open for the dust, not the sliders, because you'll get stuff in there and scratch the hell out of it. But I don't know, this windshield must fit something else as well. They got a little, this isn't square or straight. Ah, that's a little better. I don't know what it fits, but because of that, you get a gap in there. And this thing is like an inch too short. It barely, you can barely get it to fit. And then with these Velcro straps, it'll slide down. Mirror is a big plus. There's the light bar that needs to get tightened up. Oops. But then this, yeah, I go all over the place. I got 80 HLS. Attention deficit. Hey, look, a squirrel. You missed it. The squirrel ran away. Put this little water resistant pouch thing up here to put the wires in. That worked pretty slick. This winter, debating on chopping the cage because I have to pull the valve cores out to get this in my camper. So me and a buddy are debating chopping at 4 inches, which would look really cool. But then the plastic roof would no longer fit. I would have to get a new roof made. But so besides the reverse chain, which is the biggest pathetic aspect about it, come on Can-Am, step up your game. That's horrible. Very much enjoy the machine. When you just got it in 2-wheel drive, which is technically 4-wheel drive, the thing goes a lot of places. Put it in 6-wheel drive, goes even more. But it just bugs the crap out of me is when you're stuck or getting stuck. You know, one front tire is spinning, and the other one you can just see is rolling. It's like, no, get some power to that wheel. That is just stupid. So that Visco lock will be replaced on this. And then the 32-inch tires just touch up front on full suspension travel, but barely. I mean, barely just touch. If you're not worried about that, or if you're not jumping it, you're just fine. Eventually I will get some forward offset A-arms, but not yet. So, yeah. It's kind of my thoughts on the machine. I very much like it. I was told not to get it by numerous people. Oh, it's too big. And then they ride in it and they think it's a beast. And they're like, yeah, this thing's pretty cool. It's like, yeah, I seen that coming. Oh yeah, with these tires, it does drop it down about 10 miles an hour for top speed. It goes factory 65, which is too fast, for my opinion. This machine is designed or sold to 2 different people. Farmers or yahoos like me that screw around, go bombing with it, mudding, so on and so forth. It doesn't need to go 65. It should be geared, not clutched, geared to 55. Just my opinion though. Oh yeah, plasti dip. That'll get paint. I wanted to see how it looked black, and yeah, it looked really good black. That white, ugly. But it is what it is. Well, yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents on it. Like how it's got the center flip down thing that Polaris doesn't even have yet. Even CF Moto has that. The center console. Oh, there we go. You know, like a car. It's like, really, Polaris, why don't you have that? But whatever. it's a work in progress. Well, I wouldn't say work in progress. I keep doing here and this, that, and other things on it. Eventually want the 4-inch portals on 35-inch, maybe 38-inch tires, but I'm not made of money. And if you want to see some video of me driving, go look at the Halloween party video. I did not have it up at Howie's because it was in for warranty for the reverse chain. Not even dealing with Can-Am's reverse chain. I'm going to go to that double roller chain that they make for it. Apparently way stronger, but I got to get the money. Well, thank you for watching. Make sure you do all the clickety-clackety stuff. Really helps with the LG rhythm. Have a good day. So the wrap up on the Can-Am there is a couple things. Thank you to Cruiser and Cletus McFarland. They both bought Can-Am 6x6s, had some videos about them. There's not a whole lot of them on YouTube. I think there was another one, can't remember who. But I know Cruiser, they put 32s on it. They said they needed A-arms. I didn't need A-arms up front, that is, forward offset. It fit them just fine. Yeah, if you're looking to do some mudding with some different type of machine other than a Razor or a Ranger or even a standard Defender, do something a little different. I like being different. Being the same is boring. Yeah, the Can-Am 6x6 it's a beast. It'll only get more beastly as time goes on. Get rid of that dumb Visco lock. Upgrade the reverse chain, because yeah, that was pathetic. A farmer would break that if they tried pulling something in reverse. Yeah, Can-Am do a better job there. But yeah, I would suggest that machine if you're looking to get one. A couple people were, oh, don't get one, they're dumb and gonna be hard to turn. No, everybody that thought that was impressed with it. Yeah, it doesn't turn as good as a standard four-wheel non-crew cab machine, but it does do quite well. I also have the suspension set up a little bit where the center rear axle has more down pressure on it with the shocks and that lift, because the back axle doesn't have the lift. So it helps for turning when you got all the weight on the center axle versus the rear axle. So don't let that sway you. Just even setting your shocks without the lift all the way stiff on that center axle will help with that. Kind of get some weight off that rear end, very rear end. But yeah, I like it. I'm impressed. Couple shortcomings, but nothing is perfect. So, yeah. Thank you kids for watching.